Welcome to Stars Podcast. Through self-defense, mixed martial arts, nutrition, family, and all things in between, we share our journey of how we hack our mind and body to get the maximum return out of each day. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy the journey. All right, guys, welcome back to Stars Podcast. This is Ron Jordan.
Aaron Diaz, what's
Aaron
up?
Diaz knocking over light fixtures over here.
Hey, we got new stuff going on in the studio.
We do have some new stuff going on. We got a new couch, which is specialty from Amazon.
That's strong, man.
I like it. It came. God bless the guys who deliver this stuff. It was heavy.
Is it?
Yeah, he had to carry it the whole way up, whole way up my driveway.
Oh, yeah, because he came up. Did he have like one of those?
Well, I don't think he had a lift gate. I mean, it probably. I hope there was two guys, but I doubt it. There was probably one guy, and
he was cursing you out the entire time.
You know what I think? I think they have a dolly. They had to have a dolly.
Dollies are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like an underrated thing. Whenever you're moving,
yeah,
you have to have a dolly.
So I got one of those
with
refrigerated dollies. Bro, I use that thing for everything.
Yeah, it's so good to move things around.
Oh, it's a go-to.
Yeah, if they ask you, do you want a dolly with your U-Haul? Say yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you always get the dolly.
Like, do I want to have a back after I'm done?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're not 1920 anymore where you can put a refrigerator on your back and just like walk down the street.
Or I'm not 19 anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's a long way away.
That's a long time ago.
So talking about moving stuff, so I used to sell water, right? Like those big commercial type.
Like Culligan?
Kind of like Culligan, right? But it was my buddy. He started his own water company. And I was delivering in D.C. There are no elevators in D.C. in the brownstones, right? Brownstones, tenements, you kind of know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, we've talked about brownstones before.
Yeah.
The nice buildings.
Yeah. So I had to carry these two the 5-gallon jugs up the thing with the water cooler. Like, so I had to go up and down flights, and I was running around. It was like a 98 Ford Bronco 2. That's how I had all my water.
How much gas did you guzzle in that thing?
Oh, it was probably about on a good day, 12, 13 miles to the gallon.
Yeah. My buddy had one of those. He put big tires on it, an exhaust system, the whole thing. I mean, he might have got 10 miles to the gallon. He was always at the gas station.
I mean, people probably thought that I was like smuggling bodies because I was like almost on my front wheels were going up off the ground while I was driving.
Because you had so much weight in the back.
So much weight in the back. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're hauling millions of gallons, or not millions, but like, I don't know,
hundreds
of gallons.
So I think I used to fit 10 of those. So I would make 2 stops. And then the water cooler itself is really not that, it was a hot and cold one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was struggling, man. Had no AC either. So
incredible. How long did you do that for?
Bro, I was a hustler. I did that for probably about 6 months before I moved up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting, man. Dude, water hauler. Overloading the back of the truck.
Yeah.
I did that with paver stones before.
Oh.
Yeah, like so that fire pit out back that I built.
Yeah.
I thought so they sell kits at Lowe's where you can, like, I don't know, for $200 you can get a little 4x4 round pre-built or not pre-built, but they put everything on a pallet for you.
Yeah, okay.
And then you have the little metal insert and whatever. And it was like, I don't know, like $250, $300.
Mm-hmm.
So I start looking at the stones. I'm like, I can make a bigger one
right
for the same amount of money. Why don't I do that?
Yeah.
So I did that, and I'm like, so I count out the stones, and I'm talking to the Lowe's lady who's helping me out, and she goes, well, what kind of car do you have? And I said, well, I have this Honda Pilot. And she goes, well, you're probably going to have to make 2 trips. I said, I don't think I'm going to have to make 2 trips.
Like, challenge
I'm arguing with the lady who does this professionally. So we take all of the stones, put them on the pallet. They take the forklift, take it over to the car, and we start loading the stones in. And I'm looking at the back of my car, and it's
getting lower and
constantly getting lower. Yeah. And she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and I'm still loading.
Such a man. That's a man thing right there.
Well, here's the thing. So I start looking at the car, and I said, I'm going to have to come back. I conceded. I had to come back to get the rest of the stones. She's sitting there
like, I told you so.
Yeah, she's looking at me like, bro.
Yeah. This is not my first rodeo, my man.
But she's sitting there right beside me, helping me load them in. You know, she's like, hey, I'll help you, dummy.
Yeah.
And then I get home, and I tell the same story to my neighbor. My neighbor used to have he has a similar fire pit over, next door, in his backyard. And he had a Subaru Outback when he was loading those stones in. Mm-hmm. He did the same method I did, but he didn't stop. He let them load everything, and then he drove it home. He broke his car.
What?
Yeah, he broke whatever the frame, like he cracked his frame.
Yeah.
Because it was overloaded. So he had to get that fixed, obviously. So he goes, that was a really expensive mistake.
Seriously.
Yeah. So if you don't have a truck and it's not rated to actually like load shit in it and drive 100 miles, you probably shouldn't.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't do it. But it's so, that's, like I said, that's such a guy thing to do. Like when I'm driving and MapQuest was like, hey, it takes 55 minutes to get there. Challenge accepted.
I bet you I'd do it in 40. I bet you I'd get there in 43.
Yeah. Why do we do that? Why?
I don't know. Because we're idiots. We're idiots. We think we know the best way to do everything.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Yeah. And it's so funny because it's usually a woman that says, no, you don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of like doing it the best way, have you listened to Guru yet on Apple Podcasts?
No.
So it's
like a Guru the rapper?
No, it's so like life gurus.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So remember we were talking to Kara a couple weeks ago about The Secret?
Yes.
Well, this guy who's the feature.
Did you watch the movie, by the way?
Yeah, I did.
Good movie.
I watched it like that night I think I watched it that night, that Sunday evening. But one of the guys from The Secret ended up getting some notoriety through going on the Oprah show.
Okay.
And he really blew up after that and started having a bunch of events. And one of the events that he has, this isn't spoiler alert because it's out there. It's an old story, I guess. I didn't know about it. Mm-hmm. He did this thing called a sweat lodge. It wasn't really a sweat lodge in terms of, because a sweat lodge is a Native American.
I'm about to say, is this about to get kinky?
No, not at all.
Okay, good.
No, it doesn't get kinky. It gets morbid.
Oh.
People die.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, Alyssa and I are listening to it on our way to and from the beach.
Okay.
This past weekend. And we got on a topic was like, why do people feel like they have the answer to life? Like, why, how arrogant of me to say to you, Aaron, this is the way you should live your life.
Yeah.
Because this is the way I did it, and this is the way you should do it.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm like kind of sweating a little bit because I'm like, I kind of do that for people.
Ah.
You know what I mean? Like all my working out stuff, I'm like, hey, you should work out. You know, things like everything I do in life. Like I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you my story and what worked for me.
Right.
So we keep going on this conversation. And, you know, another part of the conversation went to, like, how arrogant of me to say what your purpose is in life.
Yeah.
You know, because your purpose could just be
a slug. Just
to be.
Yeah.
You know, why do you have to have some purpose? Maybe your purpose is just to be here.
I don't agree.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't agree with it either.
Gotcha.
And that's what kind of spurred the conversation between she and I was like, well, I think that people need to be told what to do sometimes.
Okay.
And I think people need a kick in the ass, and people need to stop worrying about, and this was crazy, and I second guessed my thought on it. Was like during his retreat, this guy, I can't remember his name now.
Surface information. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Anyhow, he would force you to shave your head as soon as you arrived, and to me, my wife took it as he's preying on vulnerable people. Which I can get down with that. I understand that. I can understand where you're coming from. Where I came from with it was you're giving so much credence to physical things when you're really on a spiritual journey.
Right.
So why does the hair matter? In like reality.
Yeah. Do you think it was like a power and control thing? Like, okay,
so
I want to see his commitment or her commitment by shaving their head.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that is. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm
Gotta have some
spitballing
buy-in
here.
now.
Like,
yeah.
where are you at as a leader? Like, why would you make somebody submit like that? That's like having your dog roll over for you, is kind of what I took it as. Was like, yeah, he's trying to make people feel like break down, build up.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to break them down to basically themselves naked. They're not naked. They have clothes on. But like, without your hair, and I know it sounds like a weird thing, but like I feel like even women had to do it.
Yeah. And that's a big thing.
It's a huge thing for anybody. Like, even think about guys. Guys don't want to get rid of their hair. They do comb overs and shit.
You know what? That's also a vanity thing too. So maybe that could be the purpose as well. So there's a couple things with that, and it's pretty cool that you're bringing it up that way, because I think we do this for a lot of things, like wear a uniform, put on a belt, bow when you walk into a dojo. You know, it's a respect, a level of commitment. Like, I don't know what this guy's mindset was, but it's a buy-in. Like, I'm gonna have you pay to come into my school, you know, and now you got a little skin in the game, and this one, it was a little hair in the game. So
yeah,
it's just
yeah. I mean, just from what I listened to and what I heard about that story, was the way that he was doing it was definitely making you submit to him.
Gotcha.
He had a very big God complex. So much so that he would dress up like a god and call himself God.
What's that look like? Dress up like a god?
Like big
Robes
white robe,
I gotcha.
flowy,
Right.
kind of just what you would see like quintessential spiritual
Gotcha.
being.
Yeah.
Was like this big flowy thing.
Did he have hair?
I believe he did.
Oh.
Yeah. And that was my other thing that I did not like that he did. He didn't do what his team was like. He didn't
practice.
He didn't go
preach,
through
right?
what he's making these people go through, which ultimately killed them. And I think that we talk about it all the time. Like, I'm not going to make you do something I wouldn't do.
Right.
Like, I've already done this. I know how it made me feel. Like, I know what your level is of fitness, so I know that you can handle this.
Right.
You know, always consult with a doctor
Yeah.
before you do stuff. But like, that's where I was coming from him. It was definitely a negative vibe that I was getting from him. He was like very tyrannical. It's interesting. I highly recommend it. It's like the #1 podcast on Apple right now.
So and plug it again.
Guru.
That's it.
Yeah.
Guru podcast.
Yep. Yeah,
Nice.
it's one of those like serial podcasts, so it builds off itself.
Oh.
Which is something that I'm working on. I want to do a serial podcast about a couple different topics.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll have a series in mind. Like, what do we want to talk about? This is what it's going to be wrapped up. And hey,
Yeah.
you guys stay tuned for the next 5 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's an episode driven.
Because it's more episodic
Right.
and serial than it is like season based.
Yeah.
So it's all wrapped around the same concept. I've been listening to a lot of crime mystery. Crime Junkie is another podcast I've been listening to.
Okay.
2 ladies on there. They do a fantastic job storytelling, and it got me it got my brain started, and then like things are just speaking to me right now. Like, everything that I'm listening to, it's very similar. Like, I watched the Mandela Effect on Hulu. I watched or I listen to that Crime Junkie. Then I listen to the Malcolm Gladwell and his Truth. We Default to Truth. Like all of these different things that I've been listening to, they've been very poignant,
thought-provoking,
very thought-provoking.
Right, yeah.
But the way that they tell the story is it's long-form communication, which I'm all about, and it dives really deep into something.
Yeah.
So you can actually learn about it. And it's very much like, so for some people it'll be really boring because it'll be like, it's kind of like going to school, but through a story.
Yeah.
And that's what I think, that's sort of the next generation of communication is through podcasts. And I think it's because of Malcolm Gladwell, what I listened to the other day. His audiobook is exactly formatted like a podcast. So it's got all the ingredients of a podcast. It was neat.
Okay.
It was really neat to listen to it. And his book, I'm actually going to look his book up so I can plug it, but it comes out in September. You ever listen to Malcolm Gladwell?
I'm trying to think. I think if I saw a picture. Come on, Ron. You know I'm horrible with names.
He's long time journalist.
Okay.
Long time journalist. He's worked for the Washington Post, the New York Times, but definitely the Post. He's a great storyteller, and those are the types of people that I listen to. Like I love a good storyteller.
Yeah, you're on the road a lot to be doing to getting really into the podcast, right? I mean, I got a 9-minute drive into work, except for I'm going up to the academy, and that's really me getting my mindset ready to what we're going to be teaching or some topics that I want to reach and
talking to strangers.
Reiterate. Talking to strangers.
Talking to strangers.
You see the picture of that guy? Got a picture of him?
I can pull it up. Yeah, give me a second. Well, so listen to this. What got me into podcasts was my buddy Sean McMillan. We brewed beer together.
Right.
And I was, so you know me, I'm a DIY guy. I love doing stuff on my own. He is one of the art professors at the university here. And he has access to a lot of tools because in his studio, they do a lot of metal sculpting. Like he's very good with, his medium is metal.
Gotcha.
He can make jewelry. He can do all types of things. Well, I needed him to make me a false bottom in my all grain beer brewing equipment.
Okay.
And what it was is it was just more or less sweating copper together like you would do in your plumbing. I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So I went up there with him, and he was showing me how to do it, but he had a podcast on. It was like an NPR podcast. So I was like, what do you listen to on this? This is like really interesting. I was hooked immediately. So he told me a couple different podcasts to listen to. So I started to listen to it. Just like you said, I have tons of time on the road.
Yeah.
Like normally, not like post-COVID, pre-COVID, I was spending, I don't know, probably 30 hours a week in the car.
On the car, yeah.
Yeah. Just driving around to all my customers. So I was constantly devouring podcasts. And it's been an amazing journey for like the last probably 4 years, 4 or 5 years. I've just been listening to all of these amazing people, which I would never be able to do without a podcast.
Right. Yeah, no,
I'd
totally
have to read
agree.
1,000 books.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's
so
almost
it's
like a short form.
It's exponentially like increased my education on a lot of subjects.
Yeah, no, I've learned a lot of great. So I, like you, yours is more. I'm, and maybe I'm making an assumption. Mindset driven. Mine's is or thought provoking. Yeah, I don't know who that is. He looks like Screech.
Yeah, he does. He's like curly hair, nerdy guy.
Yeah. So like my stuff was self-defense based or mindset based for positivity or just having a combative mindset. And I think when people start looking for those things, that's what drives me. I'm like, okay, what do you want to get out of this? You want to take some self-defense classes? Why? Where you at? I'm hoping that I can hit all those points with you. You know, I want to give you value. We're talking about value, you know, before we started here. But yeah, no, I want to give you that value. And if my values don't match with what you want to do, your results, then it's not going to work. You know, hey, I like you. I think you're a cool dude or a cool woman. You know what I mean? Whatever. But obviously, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
So there's a girl at the gym that I work at, and she keeps saying, "Well, when are you going to teach me how to fight?" Or when? And I was like, "I do it right next door." But she has it in her mind that she wants to be a boxer. And I was like, "Well, you've been punched in the face." She was like, "Well, yeah." And I was like, "Okay." So, I mean, you have to think about what you actually want to get out of it. If you just want me to teach you boxing, I'm not going to do that. That's not my realm. I don't want to do that. I want you to be able to protect yourself, because what I do is ugly. What I do is gritty. And if that's not what you want, the fitness aspect for Krav is secondary, you know?
I agree.
And the self-defense is way more important to me than just the physical. The physical is like, yeah, that's just the icing on the cake, my man. Like, I'm teaching you a mindset. I'm trying to give you an education to be able to take care of you, your family, and your loved ones. Like, if you just want to get punched in the face, I mean, I'll punch you in the face all day.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to change. I'm not going to change that way because one person wants me to just do boxing. But don't come at me sideways and say, when you going to teach me how to fight? Or when you going to teach me the real stuff? Get out of here.
Yeah, that's an interesting comment, actually.
Yeah.
Teach me the real stuff?
Yeah. I didn't know where. She never once stepped into my class. I was like, I'll teach you the real stuff. I'll teach you the experience.
I wonder what she considers the real stuff.
She wants to box. She wants to do some kind of Muay Thai and boxing. And
yeah. I send her down. If she really wants to do that, there's a couple Muay Thai gyms down in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
she can make the trip down there.
She's up north. She's not doing all that. And plus, her level of commitment is not there. Her goal is something else. You know, I'm not, and I'm not gonna change that. I'm not gonna try to coax you. I don't need to coax you. I should have my own credibility enough to I know what I have. Like, I don't need to coax you to come into my class. Don't worry, I got 7 more. But that was my soapbox for a minute. I don't know what made me. Yeah,
you needed to get that off your chest.
I guess because it
didn't fit in really at all.
It really. I don't know where that was.
You got it off your chest. That's good.
That was like sitting in the back of my head. I think the whole mindset and podcasting, the combative mindset. That's where we.
Okay.
Went. That's where it was at.
We went into it.
Yeah.
This is just as much a therapy session for you and I as it is whatever this podcast is.
Well, you figure, I mean, we talk about relationships, we talk about blended families, we talk about our life, because those are our experiences. To kind of go back to what you're saying, I mean, I'm not going to force you to be a certain person. You need to be who you want to be.
And I don't look down on you for doing you. Like, if you're just like, I don't know, you build model airplanes. Like, if you build model airplanes, awesome.
Yeah.
It's just not what I do. And
right.
if that brings you happiness and joy, like, that's really what I'm about. Just like Gary Vee says, I don't have to make $1 million to be happy.
This is true.
Like, I can make 60 grand and have my car that whatever, and then I can go places. I have my freedom, and you're killing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not in jail. You don't have a probation officer. You can come and go as you please.
Right.
You're freaking killing it, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
living good.
You got kids, and if your kids are in school and fed and they're playing video games, like, you're killing it.
Right.
You're doing good.
Yeah, you're winning in life, my man.
Like, you don't have dirt in your floor. You have carpets.
Yeah.
You're killing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think people, and I'm just as guilty as the next dude, is like, I want more. I want better sometimes. And it's just like, you get frustrated with where you're at. And it's like, sometimes you just have to say, I'm doing good.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm doing good.
Wow, it's so funny you brought this, because I was at one of my days off that I get to have dinner with my family. I'm sitting there around. My kids are eating or not eating, just combing through stuff. My son's eating bread. My daughter's eating steak. Like, it's crazy. It's just how it works in our house. But I'm looking, and I'm looking at my house, man. I mean, My house is probably about 3,300 square feet, bro. You know what my house was when I was growing up? Probably a good 850 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, my living room is probably as big as my apartment when I was growing up.
Yeah, like your whole family could be in that house and you probably don't see each other all day.
Yeah. But it was just so, it was so crazy. I was like, man. But I mean, life gets you. You start to stress. You start to be like, oh, yeah, like you said, I want more. I want to do this. I want to do that. Or am I really doing that good? My man, I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I'm doing good. Like I had family members come from New York, and the kids, she was 8 years old. She said, this is the biggest house I ever seen.
It's amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm doing good, man. Like you said, you're not in a box right now.
Right.
You're not eating out of garbage cans. And when you do, you start to realize some stuff like, man, this is where my life's come to now.
Yeah, and we talk about it constantly. Yeah, you want to keep pursuing bigger and better goals and dreams and aspirations and keep moving. But at the same time, like, this is why I journal sometimes. My journal entries really are thankfulness, because, like, I get so down on myself sometimes to the point that I'll be in tears and so anxious that I'll look at my wife and I'm like, today is just not a good day, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing good today.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't happen often.
Right.
It doesn't happen often,
Yeah.
but it happens enough that I understand what to do now.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't happened for a couple months, but, like, and the reason why it happens is I get on these negative diatribes in my head where, like, if I'm not doing certain things, it's like, well, why aren't you doing that? What are you doing otherwise?
Yeah.
Like, why are you occupying your time with that?
That negative space is renting space in your head.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta evict those people, man.
It's hard.
It is hard.
They always go on vacation. They go on vacation. They come back though.
Yeah.
And you just have to know how to get rid of them. And the way I do it is through journaling and going through my life and saying, like, man, we had dinner at home every night this week. Like, there's so much food in my fridge and pantry. Like, people were starving out there.
Yeah.
We're not.
Right.
People were out in the streets. We're not.
Yeah.
People are bumming rides from people. We're not.
Yep.
You got to get down to baseline sometimes.
Yeah.
And to go back to the very beginning of this was, like, all of this mindset space, my media diet is positivity.
Right.
I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
I don't scroll through Facebook, and I scroll through Facebook, but I don't, like, everything that's curtailed to me, like, my algorithm is positivity. My suggested videos are, like, puppy videos, funny prank videos. Like, it's weird.
Right.
Martial arts videos, like, stuff like that.
We talked about this before about
media diet.
about circles, right? We're building our own algorithms.
Yes. You want to hear something real crazy where my mind went?
Yeah.
All right. So let's go here.
Oh, rabbit hole, here we come. Diving right in.
Mandela effect. What do you know about it?
I don't know much about it.
Do you remember?
I know Nelson Mandela.
So Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
The Monopoly guy.
Monopoly guy. Yes.
What does he have on his face?
He has a monocle.
No. Never been a monocle.
What was it?
That's the Mandela effect. People remember things vividly. These children's books growing up with all the bears, what were they called?
The Three Little Bears.
Well, the Three Little Bears, but, like, the brand name of that, like, of that book, the Bernstein.
Yeah. Oh, the Bernstein Bears. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Bernstein Bears.
Oh, now we're gonna go off the pronunciation.
No, but they're different.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's not INE.
So there's, like, a bunch of different things.
Got it.
The movie with the genie movie with Sinbad. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Never happened.
There wasn't a movie.
Wasn't a movie.
Sinbad? he was a genie
No.
in a movie.
That movie can't be found.
Shut your mouth.
So that's the Mandela effect. It's so what it's saying is there's multiple universes simultaneously existing, and every now and again we overlap.
Okay.
And that's the Mandela effect. So we're just in a simulation. We're all just ones and zeros.
Whoa.
Hear me out. So I'm thinking. So I watched this. I don't know. It was like, when the hell did I watch this? I watched it when I got back from the beach. It was maybe like Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever. So I'm watching it, and my mind's blown.
Okay.
Blown. I'm on Google. I'm looking at all types of things. Like if you watch the movie Mandela Effect, I think it's on Hulu. If you watch it, dude, comment, message me, ronjordan@thestarspodcast.com. I want to know what you thought about it, because I was freaking blown away by all the things that this guy was going through.
So this is appropriate for all audiences? Is there violence involved, or
there's like one sexy scene and a little bit of cussing.
Okay.
But it's not terrible.
Okay.
But what happens to the guy is his daughter ends up drowning in the ocean.
Okay.
And they're saying like, oh, another one, Curious George, tail or no tail?
Tail.
No tail.
Wow.
I know. It's the craziest shit. It is really the craziest stuff like you have ever remember, because like your memory
wants to put things in it.
People say it's a false memory. That's like their argument against it. You just
I can see that though. I can see how it could be a forced memory because
absolutely.
we
make stuff up all the time.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it goes back to what I listened
like
to. Like
monkeys should have a damn tail,
right? But here's my thing. This is where I'm like connecting it.
Gotcha.
Malcolm Gladwell talks about we default to truth. We default to what we normally see. So if it's a little bit out of character, we dismiss it. We just still believe that it had a tail.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. So, if you think about if we're all just in a simulation, okay, and you have these people that goes back to the guru that tell you how to live your life.
Yeah.
If you do this, this, and this, you will be successful. What if it's true?
Mm-hmm.
What if that is a program?
And we want it to be true.
I know.
Yeah.
But if it's a program of ones and zeros, like if we're just in a simulation and it's programmed at ones and zeros, so working out, it gets put into this algorithm. And reading gets put into this algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
And getting up early and eating correctly. Like all of this stuff that they tell you to do, like these 15 steps to become successful. What if it is really true that every time you do these things, that positive feedback that you're getting is like somebody that's playing the game of you is getting points? So you're rewriting, almost like leveling up in this game,
mm-hmm.
but truly because it's a simulation and you are plugging in the right codes. Like you're hitting the mushroom.
Yeah.
In Mario.
Or, I mean, even those games that, like the Lone Survivor games that are on, the apps or whatever, and you start out with no clothes, then you chop a tree down, you make a little house, and then the house gets bigger, and you start to get a wife or a friend to help you, kill things, and yeah. We're just one big game, bro.
Yeah, so
who's the gamekeepers?
But that's I've talked about the gamekeepers before. So like when I say that and this goes back to the secret, the universe has been speaking to me a little bit.
Yeah.
All of those things that I've also been reading Sapiens by Yuval Harari.
Okay.
Mind blown. Like I've just been reading the most amazing things and listening to like just shit about our brain.
Yeah.
And our evolution and why we do certain things is like, it makes sense whenever you think about it from the evolutionary aspect of where we came. Like if you truly believe that we came from chimpanzees, all that you really have to do is look at chimpanzees and how they live.
Mm-hmm.
And you can extrapolate how we're living
Okay.
and why we make decisions that we do. Like, and going back to the Malcolm Gladwell thing where he was talking about, actually it was through Sapiens, chimpanzees will talk to each other. They have signs where like, hey, there's a hawk, you should take cover, or hey, there's a lion, take cover. And they rely on everybody being truthful in that communication circle.
Yeah.
Well, if you get some asshole chimpanzee that says, well, I'm going to be lazy today. These guys all have the bananas. Like, I'm just going to say that there's a lion and then go steal their bananas.
Mm-hmm.
So when that chimpanzee does that and he goes and he steals the bananas, he says, hey, there's a lion. And all the chimpanzees go up in the tree. He runs down, steals the bananas. They beat the shit out of the chimpanzee that did that. And they disown him. They don't listen to him anymore. So, like, so do we. We do the exact same stuff. We set up rules and guidelines, and if you don't do it, then we beat you up, and we disown you. We throw you in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the same stuff.
That's yeah. It's a totally different. Yeah, I don't know. I can't follow you there.
What do you mean?
I mean, I get it. I think there's guidelines, there's ways to do it, and I mean, so you're not thinking of like physically beat you up, right? Or you're thinking about just disbanding or cutting that person out.
Yeah, you can say beat up, you can say disown, you can say whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just trying to get on your same
no, I understand.
space right now. All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a evolution guy.
So you don't think we came from chimpanzees?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Where do you think we came from?
Yeah. I think that we were organisms. I think that I'm a bit like, I believe in God. So there was a beginning of a man and a woman, and that's how we inhabited the earth.
So can I show you something?
Sure, you can show me whatever
All
you'd
right.
like.
Give me a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So here we are. If you guys are just catching up, we're talking about evolution now, and it's gonna bring up some good conversation on the God effect or evolution and how we've grown as people.
All right. Yo. Sorry about that, guys. So there's 4 different kinds of human beings.
Okay.
Whew. Up and down the steps. That got me. And they've changed. People, like the people have changed based on where they lived.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. If one's hairier than the other, or one has pigment more than the other, and
so those are the 3 different kinds of humans.
Right.
And then there is the lighter skin version.
Oh, Kitty came out. I think I ever seen your
What's
cat.
up, Reese? What's up, baby? And there's a lighter skin version.
Okay.
My question is like, so you think that we were just put here?
Yes. Yes, I think that there was a time where there was no form. If I'm going off of faith, there was a time where there was no form of the world. That there were things on here prior to what men and women are now. So, if you're thinking biblically, right, between verse 1 and verse 2, God doesn't work in time.
Mm-hmm.
So, however long that time frame was, we won't know. We won't know. Now, they are, there's paintings, there's this is not to say that things didn't happened before what we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
That there was it was a time where it was unformed, and that is where these sapiens were there during that time. I don't see how we can go from a monkey to where we're at now. Why did they not to continue to evolve? Why did they stop at a certain point?
So I think that there's a, and I don't have any evidence to back this up
Right.
yet. Like I've just not heard anybody say this.
Yeah.
But I also think, I've said it to a couple people, I think there's a recessive gene inside of the human genome that every now and again, what reminded me of it, and this is where I came from it, was the recessive gene in the Nightwolf, the comic book
Okay.
that we were talking about
Yeah.
with Rob.
Yeah.
Was like, okay, why do we have Elon Musks?
Mm-hmm.
Why do we have Einsteins?
Okay.
We only get a handful of these geniuses.
Okay.
Only a handful. So maybe we got a genius that made fire. And he moved away. Like maybe one of these chimpanzees was able to make different tools.
Uh-huh.
And they were able to evolve and kill bigger animals. So then their brain started to grow.
Mm-hmm. And so that's how the people started to grow?
Yeah, so like, this is over 10,000, 20,000 years that this stuff happens. I'm not talking like your grandchildren would have something like this.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to believe that we're all capable of being Elon Musk or an Albert Einstein or, a Nikola Tesla.
Well, why do we
know.
only use, I mean, and I don't know this either. Do they use more parts of their brain? Are they different thinkers?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't use our entire brain.
Yeah, I'm just trying to answer your question about
and the creativity on one side of the brain could be a little more elaborate than the creativity on the left side of the brain.
Yeah.
Right, left, front, back.
Yeah, because sometimes that genius makes you retarded in other areas.
Mm-hmm.
Or slow. I don't know what you're supposed to say. I just say retarded. Sorry if I've offended anybody, but that's what I say.
Yeah. So like you have people that are extremely book smart, but they're quirky. They can't go out into the public or have like normal conversations.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I can totally see that. There's very, very few people that have that same type of there's people that could speed read a book in an hour,
Mm-hmm.
and there's people that it takes them like me months.
Right. Yeah, my wife and I, if you put us in a situation where one of us has to read faster than the other, she kills every time. It's amazing.
But
she's a lawyer.
That's a learned behavior, though.
They have to read fast.
Do you think that's a learned behavior?
I don't think. I think it's an exercise behavior, and you get better at it. Mm-hmm. But I think that you're predisposed to be better at it
than most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I think that's what makes us
all
all
catch a
different.
ball. Ask her to catch a ball.
Yeah.
She will miss it. Like, she can't.
Yeah.
And that's just something that she can't do.
Well, I think that's what makes us the population. That's what makes us great.
Yeah, because we all have different strengths and,
right.
and weaknesses.
Yeah.
And
then
that collectivism is what helps.
And then you build with the people that you want to build with.
Yeah. That's why, like, having a circle of like-minded people is good, but at the same time, you can't all be the same.
No. Well, if you want to do that, and I really like where this is going now. So you got to think now, law enforcement.
Okay.
Like-minded professionals, right? They all get together because there's a certain breed. There's when I was going through college, there were tower runners and people that run away from the tower. And this is to go back to when I don't know which college it was, but there was a man on the tower shooting at people, right? And there were people that ran from the shooting, and then people ran towards the shooting. Mm-hmm. So it's a totally different makeup of people. I tell you, these people that go in the military, these people that go into that are first responders, that it's a different type of person.
No, it is for sure.
So that's you start to create a community of those type of people. Like back in the day with corrections, there were knuckle draggers. There were people that just went in there and just beat you down in submission, and you're going to do what we say through force. And now there's a different way of thinking. Like, no, we don't do it by force because we don't need to.
Yeah, but those people are still around, right?
They are still around.
That era is still around.
And that's how you have people that are getting in trouble, getting fired, killing people. That's what happens. And when you don't throw anybody else in the mix, an outside the box thinker, someone that maybe be able to articulate, or through their experiences, they can say, hey, you know what, there's a better way to do this than me beating you down to submission. So, and this has grown. When there were first police, all they had was lethal weapons. Now you got, and then you went to pepper spray, and then you went to restraints. So you had, the only level of force you had was to kill people. Now you can disorient them. Now you can make them incapable of moving, through the tasers. And really, the main one is your communication. And now I think people are starting to understand that communication is the key, because you can't beat everybody. Mm-hmm. And then when you do that and you start to, you can really hurt somebody because maybe of the physical strength, or you have the education for a certain submission, a chokehold, or whatever. Now you're in trouble.
Well, not to mention you could get hurt.
Absolutely. Yeah. A punch.
Like, I don't want to fight
is
anybody.
Not good.
Yeah,
a punch is not good. People
I don't care
like
who
so
it
much
comes
boxing,
from.
right? A punch, you can break your hand from a punch. You got force on force. It's hard bones into hard bones. Something's gonna give. That's why a palm strike is so much better. You got a hard to a soft. Mm-hmm. You can break your hand punching somebody in the face.
Yeah, I think, listen, the law enforcement piece of it, the corrections piece of it, I don't envy any of your positions whatsoever. Because I'm more of the nonviolent type of mediation, if at all possible. But I also understand, like, even in the simulation course that we did with the airsoft guns, like, I definitely shot people I shouldn't have shot.
Yeah.
And because you got to make a split second decision, and you're under duress.
Yes.
Like, I don't care. You'd have to be stone cold. Like, you'd have to be, like, just so calm in your everyday life to not get amped up when the radio's chirping at you, the sirens are on, and then, like, you're going to look for somebody.
Oh,
I couldn't imagine.
It's tough, man.
I couldn't imagine. Like, I don't even like to walk through my house whenever my daughter's kind of sneaking around trying to scare me,
Yeah.
It's like, this person's trying to kill you. Potentially.
The adrenaline, and people can't, we are human beings, and we make mistakes, and people can't understand that. I remember going to a call that was shots fired in a college. I was like, what? Shots fired in a college? I was eating lunch. It was like, hey, shots fired in a college. I was like, oh my, this was just around the Virginia Tech shooting. Just happened probably about a month ago. And I'm like, all right. So I'm there with my FTO, my field training officer. And he was like, hey, just look for bodies on the ground. These are type of situations that, law enforcement has to go into. And we have to be able to help people. We have to go in there and say, yeah, all right, there's a body on the ground. Boom. I want to see who's left. I want to see who I can save. I want to see who I can take down, because I have to be the protector now. That's a lot of responsibility.
Hell of a responsibility.
And I think a lot of people don't don't understand that. It's so easy to play Monday morning quarterback and
but that's why I think people would, if you would get into a situation, like if you've ever been into a fight, you know what that feels like. And if you've never been in a fight, you have no idea what you're talking about.
None.
So,
like the girl that wants to train, has she ever been punched in the face?
Yeah. I mean, boxing interests me 0%. 0%.
Yeah, I know. We talked about this before.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't. Listen, I love sparring.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I think it's important. I think you need to do it.
Yeah.
Do I think as a 30-plus-year-old man that I need to be getting head kicked and
No
punched?
way.
Probably
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, no, I don't want that.
Like, look at Mike Perry right now. He's a mess. CTE is kicking in.
Yeah.
Mike Perry is a UFC fighter. He just got arrested for punching some guy in a bar. He's got alcohol issues, you know? And God, alcohol is such a wild drug. It is a wild drug
Yeah.
that people just accept that it's like
It's because
victimless.
yeah.
I'm like, bro, alcohol is so scary to me. It's so scary to me.
Well, we've minimized it, and I think too much of anything is bad. Too much of anything is bad. But the addiction proponent is there. Especially, I think it's passed on through generations too. The taste, the how your body metabolizes things. Because I can drink something and I can be angry instantly.
Yeah.
And I can drink something and be like, man, this is a good time.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah,
But
that was another thing that Sapiens. I'm like barely even touching the surface on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the different diets and what people are eating now versus what their ancestors ate.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And why we have an obesity issue is really the kind of that old brain of ours that is like a famine type of mentality, where if you have a really high sugary, like high in sugar, high in nutrients, all that stuff, like an apple, well, now that's like a Big Mac instead. You know,
Yeah.
back in the day, the only sweet treat that you ever saw was like a ripe fruit.
Right.
But now it's everywhere.
You have
but your brain,
everything.
you have to teach your brain to shut that off. Like, you don't need to eat everything. You're not going to die.
Yeah.
You can pass that up because there's going to be more. So it's an interest. I'm telling you, I can't recommend it enough. And I'm like only 80 pages in.
Gosh, we are jumping all over the place today.
It's all It's all connected.
It is.
It's all connected because like we're just trying to, we're speaking our experiences, you know, and how we're thinking about our world
Yeah.
in terms of our goals.
Because me and you in the same sense, we are our algorithm. You know, me and you are all about the positivity and all about creating some education and trying to get people out there to do things that they love to do,
But
and to not feel bad about it.
Yeah, and then at the same time, like, we disagree on a lot too.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking about God, I'm talking about evolution.
Right.
You're talking about, you know, guns and courses like in law enforcement. Like, I don't talk about that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have experience in it.
Right.
You know, we come at it from totally different things.
And I think if more people came together like this, oh man.
well, that's it.
How
And that's
many
why I
things-
never wanted to cheapen this, because long form communication is where it's at. Like,
Yeah.
like if we wanted to dive into a topic, like pick a topic, we'll dive into it.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
we talked about the shootings not too long ago, and I think that's where like my curiosity is. My curiosity really stems from why people make the decisions they make,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't understand why I make certain decisions I make.
Yeah.
So like, why whenever I'm angry and I jump in the car, why do I drive fast even though I know that it's dangerous?
Mm-hmm.
Why do I run my tank till empty
When you know
instead
it's
of
horrible for your car.
when you know it's horrible for your car?
I'm with you.
Why do I put off, you know, whatever, name it?
Mm-hmm.
Why? And I'm the 5-year-old kid still that like, I want to know why.
Yeah.
I want to know why I'm making these decisions, and I think, and I don't think a lot of people know why.
Yeah, I honestly don't think we will ever know why. We just try to make the decisions that are conducive for our life, our family, our friends.
But do we really make the decisions for everybody else? Or is it really self-preservation?
No, well, I don't know about self-preservation, but I know there's a lot of selfishness. Like, hey, I deserve this. I deserve to have a drink. I freaking busted my butt all day. I deserve to smoke a bowl. I deserve to, not saying me personally, but
Yeah.
I'm just, now you could do the same thing. People that are on meth. Hey, I got to do this job. I'm going to freaking stay up for the next 14 hours so I can do it because I got to provide for my family. You start looking for reason, excuses. And then that's when it becomes selfish.
And it's all because we have these set of rules that are made up. It's all made up. It's all fiction. All of it. It's all a social construct.
Yeah.
Made by somebody, and we're just following the rules. And if you don't follow the rules, well, watch out. We'll come get you.
Yeah.
What is that about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that. Why do I have to play by everybody else's rules all the
Could
time?
it be for the safety of others?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I can get down with safety of others. But like some of the rules that we have, like specifically, like I go back to these drug rules all the time because I go back to it because it's an easy one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that like it's easily fixable.
Yeah.
There's you could
so
have
much.
But then again, like the reason why I say then again, so if you let go all non-violent drug offenders, only marijuana charges. Let's just say it was only marijuana charges.
Mm-hmm.
Let them all out. Okay?
Okay.
Let's say for argument's sake, jail works, they're rehabilitated, they have job skills. They come out, we have jobs available for them. They start working.
Yeah.
They start paying taxes.
Right.
They start buying houses. They start spurring the economy. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you want to have more people out than in?
Because
Because of drugs.
Yeah. And that's it. People see it. Oh, it's the gateway, or it's because they're doing this. They're gonna obviously go to cocaine. It's kind of
like it's always like, well, of course, alcohol is the gateway drug, folks.
Yes,
alcohol is the gateway drug.
Yeah,
that we've all just freaking accepted as okay.
Tobacco.
Like I'm on a rant right now. Alcohol is the worst drug on the market.
Yeah.
It's the worst. You want to link death to a drug? Alcohol. You want to exacerbate some issues? Pour some alcohol on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, how we have just said alcohol is okay is amazing to me.
Yeah. But this was over time, man. And I think if people they don't want to think like that.
Yeah, because it's them.
Yeah, they don't want.
Then they're the rule breaker.
Mm-hmm. Now
it's like
you can do the same thing for guns.
Yeah, but here's like I keep going back to, it's all made up. Like all of it's just made up rules that we've all just accepted on the face value of it. And we really haven't dissected it, and we stay so busy in our daily lives with working 9 to 5 that when we do come home, we have a drink, and then it's like, well, now that I've had a drink, I'm just going to go to bed. It's just like you're in a rat race with no ability to get better because you have no time.
Yeah.
So it's like keep the busy workers busy as possible so they can't overthrow what we have going.
The gamekeepers.
I hate it.
Let me put this pile of rocks right here and start a fire.
Yeah, it makes me mad.
Hunger Games, man.
It
There's
just
got to
makes
be
me
something
so
to
mad
Hunger
because
Games.
I know so many people that like feel beat down and because they got some stupid thing on their record or like they just feel like shit because they can't play by the rules that they want to and they have to play by society's rules or else they're unsuccessful. And well, if I don't make $100,000, then I'm not successful and I'm a piece of shit. So now I'm going to go do drugs. And it's like, I just want people to understand, like, just being you is enough.
Yeah. You gotta have yourself aware of your own value.
Yeah.
You have to.
You have to have value in yourself. you have to value yourself. And just because you're not playing or you're not succeeding by whoever's level of success that you're trying to compare yourself to, like, that's just so stupid.
Keeping up with the Joneses, man.
And again,
that's a movie too.
I go through it. Like I just got done saying, like, I feel like shit sometimes because I go down that road.
Yeah.
And I know how it feels, so I know how people are feeling if they are in that space. And I'm just letting you know, you're definitely not alone in this situation.
No.
We all have anxiety. We all have fears. We all have these emotions.
The thing is, what do you do with that? See, that's what, like, I hate the excuses of, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't, you just get beat down, and so what you're gonna do? Sit in a corner? It was funny. I was watching a interview with the guy. He's the president and CEO of Goya, biggest Hispanic producer in the world, man. I mean, he came up from nothing. But Hispanics, man, like I'm talking from experience, like we struggle, we keep going, we get spanked by, like, I remember getting hit with a slipper, a chancleta, and be like, all right, I'm not going to do that again, but I'm going to keep moving. I'm not going to sit there and just continue to have her hit me because I keep doing wrong. I'm going to pick myself up and I'm going to keep moving. Like, where do you just, like, grab yourself and be like, that's it, I'm done. I'm done feeling this way. I'm done feeling that way. I need to do something different, but people want to sit back and be like, no, take care of me, God damn it. Like, that's bullshit.
Yes.
Right? Like,
the
no.
nanny stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
people sitting in their their mom's house at 40 years old, bro. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, that's just...
So, again, that's a social construct of you're supposed to go out and be on your own. But in other societies, everybody should live together. So you're making that person feel like shit that's sitting in their mom's basement listen.
Go ahead.
that's maybe they're taking care of their mother.
That's not the same. That's not the same.
I know it's not the same.
I'm not talking about the title of the of taking care or helping out your parents.
Aaron, what I'm saying is what you're saying of, like, just that example, and I'm just going to pinpoint that example.
Gotcha.
Is like, I'm sure if you're 40 years old in your mom's basement, you probably don't feel awesome about it because society's telling you that you should be on your own. But if you are actually enjoying your life in that basement, being with your mother, why isn't that enough?
That's where you're at?
That's where I'm at. Why isn't that enough?
Got it. So it's my thing of, if the experience or the choices that you had in life put you in that position where you need to be taken care of, that's where I'm at. Now, if you're just there because this is a choice, I don't want to go anywhere, like, that's on you, my man.
But again, what is your purpose here? Why am I like, how dare I say what your purpose is? Yeah. Maybe your purpose comes up when you're 65.
But it's a mindset. It's not so much that I'm looking at that person like, oh, you're a piece of shit because you're out there with you're in your mom's basement. How you got there, or if you're feeling that,
I feel you.
If you're feeling that, like, look, I put myself here because I committed crimes. I can't get a job. I can't do this. You don't sit there. You got to pick yourself up and try to do something differently. You have to be self-aware enough to be like, okay, this is not a place where I want to be, and it's not because of what anybody else has.
Now that changes
depiction,
but that changes it.
That's where I was going with it.
Yeah, that definitely changes it.
It's not so much of the depiction of what I think people want me to be. I put myself in this position, and I don't want to strive because other people have made it that way. Like, I don't want to say I'm here because the world is against me. I'm here because the white man's keeping me down. I'm here because if I'm a person of color, I can't get this job. I can't go to this college. I can't, that's where I'm at there.
Mm-hmm.
Those choice, those experience. Don't sit there and just keep getting shit on in life.
Yeah. No, I can see where you're coming from with that. I'm just going back to that question of
The purpose.
like, what is their purpose then? Do we all have to have this purpose of being these successful people? And I just don't think we all do. I don't think it's for everybody.
No. Oh no. No. I totally agree there.
But I also want those people who don't want to be these very successful people to still be happy.
Be okay with that, right? Yeah.
Like, be okay.
Yeah.
With where you're at sometimes.
I'm cool
Like,
driving a
thankful.
Toyota Camry.
Yeah, like,
I don't need a Range
and
Rover.
it goes against everything I've been saying on this pod. Like, get out there, go do stuff. But I'm like, just after that conversation that I had with my wife, I'm just like, I'm starting to think a little differently about how pushy I am, and how dare I tell
say what you should do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't feel like I am, but
we're all out of love in doing it though.
Absolutely, but some people may not feel that way, and they still may beat themselves up over it just because.
Like, we don't want to be the reason that you're beating yourself up.
Not at all. That's great.
Yeah,
Yep.
we don't want to be. Well, Ron and Aaron, like they talked about how I'm just not doing this. No, we don't want to be that reason. We want you to be that reason to try to give you a leg up, or to just hear something, be like, you know what, I got value out of that conversation today.
Yeah, or even if it's not you and I, that's why I love plugging like Yuval Harari and Malcolm Gladwell and all these people that influence me.
And and the guests that we've had on the show.
Yeah.
It's all in the same.
It's not.
Because we always talk about the mindset to everybody that we have on the show.
Yep.
Always talk about, hey, what got you there? What keeps you going? So that maybe they can be like, I'm Tara. I'm Mike. I'm Sean. We bring these people here so you don't just listen to us. For one, we're boring, and we want you to see other levels, other experiences, other people that you may be relating to. So Gary V, you want to come on the show? Let me know.
Gary V. You wouldn't believe how many people I bring up Gary V to. They have no idea who I'm talking about.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I know, because
that's our algorithm,
it's
bro.
Our circle.
That's it.
It's our circle.
Yeah.
Like, if you ask me like some NBA player, I'll be like, huh?
Oh, I'll be there.
What are you talking about? I have no idea. Like NASCAR, I don't know. There's this new computers coming in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Wait till you see this thing. First off, we bought it from Zydax. It's a gaming computer.
Okay.
Sick. It's gonna be so sick. But NASCAR spurred my mind. There's this thing called iRacing, and my buddy Mike Farron. Shout out to Mike Farron, he's a killer jiu-jitsu guy. He is getting it as well. He wants to do iRacing. It's the NASCAR simulator.
Oh,
yeah.
That's.
But my computer now won't run that.
Yeah.
But this new computer is like.
That's how they get you.
It's like a Ferrari of computers. I cannot freaking wait. I can't wait till you see it. It's as big as this edge of the desk. It's got so much stuff in it. But I go in I don't know why. It's because I don't know anything about NASCAR.
You got real geeky.
That's why. But that's kind of where I'm at with this, man. I'm thinking about motivation a little differently right now. I'm still doing my training. I'm still running. Like this month's it's crazy right now.
Yeah. Got some races coming up.
Yeah, I got a race in August, and I got a jiu-jitsu competition in August. But it's just like no days off really is weird for me on running, because usually I take 2 days off in between runs.
Okay.
But now it's like back to back to back to back to back. So I did 4 days in a row, and then skip 2 days, and then do 2 a days, and then 4 days in a row. But like as far as like talking to people about motivation, it's like I'm struggling. I'm struggling in terms of like not being too self-promoty about it
Okay.
and giving people their own space.
Yeah, but you know what, Ron? Maybe they want that. Maybe some people might want that because you're a motivating guy.
Yeah.
You know, don't.
I've had a lot more people reach out to me.
Don't
like,
diminish.
directly.
Don't diminish that, though. I guess if you're sitting there with open arms, I mean, you'll get more.
Mm-hmm.
But I think some people, because you've maintained a level of credibility, and some people were like, yeah, you know, I value what Ron's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And but I always have a disclaimer, just like we do with Krav. This is a way, not the way. Firearms. This is a way, not the way.
Right.
So because I'm not gonna paint myself into a little corner of, no, this is the only way I want you to punch. This is the only way I want you to kick. No,
Yeah.
you can't do that. You can't do that. It doesn't fit for everybody. They might not have that level of ability. And there's always somebody that does it better.
Oh yeah.
You know? So to go back to you can use that as a disclaimer for yourself. I'm not making you do something. This is a way. This is not the way. This is not the way I want you to live. This is a way that's working out for me. If this fits in your box, then so be it. Take it, man. Take the value for what it's worth.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I feel like I'm like watering it down too sometimes. Like almost like I'm in a market that's so saturated, but that's because it's like that's my circle.
Mm-hmm.
Because I see all of these coaches and all types of people running crazy miles, and it's just like, well, I'm just like another person in this world.
Well,
and
you
it's
got
like,
people that know you, and then it's different.
yeah,
If people knew your entire story, then they'd be like, oh, he's a relatable guy,
yeah, for sure.
you know? And that's just a way to bring more value to yourself. I mean, because you got a great story, you know, and back to, I have a great house. You have a great story that you bring entire value to people. And if you start to diminish that, then you might lose those people.
I think, like, honestly, just through my evolution of all of this, like, I might be okay with that.
But and then
But
I
are
guess
they
if you
okay
bring it
with
to
it? I
Yeah.
don't know.
yeah. Well, I think you have enough credibility. I don't think that.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm going through an evolution right now of
And
my
that's
mindset. Is like, I don't know. My mindset is shifting a bit of not out of motivation or not. It's not shifting away from my core values of motivation and accountability and being true to yourself. It's not that. It's just like I have all these other influences coming into my life, and like for some reason, like they're in my life now. So I should listen. I should listen to what's going on, and then through my lens, figure out what's good and what's bullshit.
Yeah, because you don't have to eat from every plate.
Yeah, but see, that's my issue.
You do.
Not so much that I eat from every plate, but like I'll eat the entire plate. And then it's like, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I'm a
I
bit
get it.
full now.
Yeah. Full of shit.
Yeah. Full of shit. And that is me. That is me. If you've listened this long, you know better. You should know better.
Oh, man.
That was good. That was so good. That flowed nicely. Yeah, man. I like I said, I just going through a lot of training and a lot of thinking and reading and just trying to evolve.
Good, man.
As I always am, and I do want others to as well. If you have the same mindset that you did in high school, Shame on you.
Oh, is it? Is it, Ron?
Yeah.
Is it shame on you?
I think it is. I think it is shame on you.
Yeah.
You got to
I
evolve.
get you do.
I called you out. I mean, listen, that's what we do. That's what we do. That's how people should be. If you don't, like, if you're not down with what that person's saying, then you're not down with what that person's saying.
Yeah.
Like, ask some questions.
Yeah.
Figure out where they're coming from. Understand them.
Right.
Don't belittle them.
Yeah.
Just ask questions.
Yeah.
And I think we would get a lot more information than headlines if we just ask some questions.
Headlines. I'm so sick of headlines.
Just ask a question, that's all. And maybe give some love instead of being a dick.
Yeah.
On posts.
Yeah. Posts are crazy.
I found myself the other day, I was like, I felt angry when looking at this one post, and it was like a positivity post. But it was like from a person that I'm just like, I'm a little envious of for some reason. I don't know why. And like, I get angry when I read his posts.
Because you were envy.
And where the hell does that come from?
Envy of positivity.
No, not just like, I don't even have envy over him. I just don't like his posts.
You already have it in your head. Like,
Yeah, like I already have it in my head.
As soon as he talks, like, gosh, shut up.
Yeah.
But he could be like, man, you look amazing today. Man, shut up.
Yeah. It's weird. And again, why do I have that freaking mindset about this guy?
Like, anything you say, you're just an asshole.
Yeah, I look at his post and I'm instantly angry.
Why is he on your thread, bro?
I don't know. I know why. I mean, he approached me to be my coach, and like I like following his stuff because he does throw out some pretty cool. He has some good posts, and I think maybe it comes from the fact that like he is a credible coach.
That's why you're envious?
Maybe.
Whoa.
Maybe.
Wow. We're
How superficial is that?
the unraveling of Rod.
How superficial am I? Yeah. But that's like, those are the types of thoughts that I have. Is like, why am I angry right now?
It's because you're eating an entire plate
of bullshit. So what else is going on? Anything good?
Oh, bro,
What gun you guys had a gun courses last weekend?
No, we got a gun course this weekend. We had one a couple weeks ago, and it's just you know what, gun sales it's crazy. It's the largest gun sales ever this year, ever.
So do you have the most people this year?
Yeah, we do.
You guys added another course, I saw.
Add another course just because people were banging down the door to get in this last one. Now it's been overbooked, so which is good. I mean, we're I mean, we have the opportunity, we have the space, we have it all, and or people are just like, you know what, these guys really know what they're doing.
Well, you're definitely getting a reputation.
Yeah, I'm digging the quality of people. Our numbers have doubled since last year. About the amount of people that we had. I mean, so much that we had to buy new targets. We had to get 3 more new targets just so that we can accommodate everybody, which is good. But it's not about the price point for us. It's about putting out good products and getting the most people involved as possible. So that's pretty cool.
It's been interesting to see the evolution of that.
Wow, bro! It's 3 years. 3 years. It'll be 3 years here in about a week. We got a big birthday that's coming up. So
yeah, I love the birthday because we always get to buy one get one.
Yeah.
I just spent all my money.
Yeah, it's a good time, and we're our reach is getting bigger. So it's really cool. It's cool to see, but it's a marathon, bro.
Oh, I know it.
It's a marathon. We keep going, keep growing.
How many people do you have in the courses?
I think right now we have 30 for Saturday.
30 max. How many instructors are you going to have?
Well, we'll probably have Chris and I, and we'll probably have about 2 or 3 assistant instructors.
Okay.
We have a couple people that have have come out just for safeties, and because we want to be as safe as possible,
Right.
and we keep control of the line as well as we can. So, I mean, because when that round goes,
Yeah, controlling the line. What does that mean?
controlling the line, just making sure that everybody's safe. All the weapons are pointed in a safe direction. Nobody's, lasering anybody else, and pointing their guns at anybody. We had one issue that a piece of brass fell down a lady's shirt, and she kind of lost her shit a little bit. But I was like, I pounced on her like a freaking cougar, but she was safe. She held it all and just maintained her gun while she got herself together. But those are the type of things that happen. That's why we're always, eyes ready to pounce, and we don't play around. We're laughing, joking folks, but when it comes down to safety, we're right there. People are like, man, it just feel like you're on my shoulder the entire time, and I got 15 people on the line. So,
Yeah, that's a good comment.
Yeah.
To get, if you have that many people you're looking after, my God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, being on the right side is the worst.
Yeah.
Because that's all the brass is kind of going that way.
Yeah.
So my daughter took one of the courses and that freaked her out. So we moved from the right side clear to the left side just to make sure that wouldn't happen.
But what you got going on?
Right now, I mean, I'm 6 weeks out from the Baker 50.
All right.
So I restocked all of my supplements, I just dropped.
All the race still on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, from what I know, the race is still on. I was listening to the Orange Mud podcast the other day. It's the pack that I run. They have a podcast about ultramarathon runners and just different race directors. And from what they were saying is like, as long as you're doing staggered starts, you should be fine.
Yeah.
Like even if it...
Well, people get scared. They get scared.
Yeah, but my whole thing is
not
like,
a bunch of people
you're
watching.
allowed to go outside. You're allowed to be on the trail. So why couldn't we have a race?
Yeah.
I could understand like no gathering at the finish line. I get that part.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to put that rule in place, I'm fine with that. But definitely let me run this race. So that's like the big thing I have going on right now.
Good.
Is the Baker 50. Just actually reached out to a couple of the companies that I've been using to be a brand ambassador. So I'm waiting to hear back.
Nice.
From them. And just got back from the beach. That was fun to recharge a little bit, unplug. Our condo really didn't have good Wi-Fi, so it was good.
Yeah.
And they didn't have good service there, so like I wasn't on my phone a bunch.
Right.
So that was nice to kind of re-engage with the family and fill that cup back up. It was needed, so needed.
It's always good.
Yeah. What else? What else we got going? Reading a bunch. I've been posting on my Instagram all the things I've been reading at the moment, trying to just keep that type of evolution going for me.
Yeah, maintaining your credibility.
Constantly devouring reading and podcasts and shit like that. So,
all right, I got some honey-do list stuff.
All right, man. We'll get yourself out of here. Where can they find you at?
GC Rican _Valor PDS on Instagram. Got Valor Combat Academy of Meadville, which is my school. Valor Combat Academy headquarters. They're both on Facebook. So TikToking it still.
Nice.
Yeah, still on TikTok. So, yeah.
Do you see the ads going around?
With China.
I don't know about that.
Oh.
What are you talking about?
Well, it's a Chinese app, and they're trying to disband it in America.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they did it in India already.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, what I was talking about was this virtual currency.
Oh, dog coin.
Dog. Is it dog?
Dog coin, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Snoop Dogg's thing.
Well, so like it's a meme. It's like the dog on the actual coin is a meme.
Yeah.
So that was weird. But I guess it's like a huge thing.
It's kind of like Bitcoin.
Where they will they'll urge you to invest under $100, so they get a bunch of investors, and then it raises the stock price.
Yeah.
But you know it's going to fall, so you buy it down here, and once it hits that peak,
You sell it.
then you sell it. But then the bottom drops out, and they keep doing this with all types of different virtual currency. So just be careful when you're investing. Also, another one, Robinhood, the app Robinhood.
Yeah.
That's another one that I was reading in the New York Times. Is some guy lost like $860,000.
I just got a text saying go ahead and invest in Robinhood.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't read the whole article. I only got to the part where he lost a bunch of money, and it had to do with some technical glitch, and they can't get it back.
Yikes.
So his money is gone. His
Horrible.
ones and zeros are gone.
Horrible.
Anyhow, you can find me, Ron Jordan, on Facebook at thestarspodcast.com or Ambitious Distractions on Instagram. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the journey.
All right. So the journey has begun. If you guys listening to our content today had any kind of value or you were moved in any way, please feel free to subscribe, pass it on, let everybody know that these two guys are the truth. They're out here just trying to do good things to make good people.